Take a deep breath and settle into your comfy chair. Welcome to the Healers Collective, the podcast that will alchemize your health and ignite an expansion within your soul. I'm Nixon, and with my over 25 years of experience in all things holistic, as well as being a psychic, a healer, and a medical intuitive, I will guide you deeper into your energetics, your body, and your soul, supporting you along your path to be the best healer, psychic, energy worker that you can be, knowing and trusting that your body is fully supporting you. Together, we will be navigating all things energy, vibration, frequency, mindset, soul, body, spiritual practices, and more as we move through this thing called life. So grab a cup of something hot and let's get to it. Welcome to another podcast episode from the Healers Collective podcast. I'm your host, Nixon, and let's get into today's topic of conversation. So, you have probably heard of the term mindfulness, being present in this now moment, really living from that sense of presence, right? And you probably have heard the term radical responsibility, being responsible for all you say and do in your life. But have you heard the term, and maybe not, because my guides brought it to me a few years ago, but maybe you've heard of it. Have you heard of the term radical mindfulness? This is a term that my guides brought to me several years ago when I was working on my belief system. Because here's the thing, healer, psychic, energy worker friend. You cannot think thoughts for anybody else. You can't think thoughts for your clients. You can work with them on their own beliefs and their own thoughts, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you can't be in their head 24/7, nor should you, because that's disempowering. And who has time for that, right? I don't want to be in anyone's head. I want to inspire. I want to lead by example. I want to show people what's possible for them. But ultimately, it is their responsibility to be that radically responsible for their own health and well-being and changes and shifts and, honoring their awesomeness and all of that good stuff, right? But radical mindfulness was given to me by my guides to help me be mindful of my own bullshit, of my own thoughts, of my own words, of my own beliefs. It is that moment by moment in your head, what am I thinking about? Not when I'm on a call with a client, not when I'm doing a meditation. I mean, yes, those are important, but what I'm doing the other, 20 hours of the day or whatever, right? What am I thinking? How am I moving in my life when I'm walking down the street, when I'm in the store, when I'm in traffic? That is what they meant by radical mindfulness. Being so aware of where your thoughts are, where your beliefs are, where you're, BSing yourself, making excuses for yourself, where you're in fear, where you're in, any emotion, like being really present with your brain. And if you're like, that sounds exhausting, it is at first. I am not going to lie. But what I have found is that if you aren't aware of what you're thinking, like, most of the time, when you're not in meditation, when you're not all high vibing and around your people and you're all just grooving and all of that, that's beautiful energy. I'm talking about the rest of your day. But see, remember, your subconscious is running the show. Your subconscious is driving your bus in your life. And what you believe, What you think is possible for you will be your experience. Okay? So you can say affirmations all day long, and I'm not saying that affirmations are bad or wrong, but if you really don't believe it and you're just going through the motions, you're not going to change. You can also receive a healing. I was certified in a couple of different healing modalities that said that they were changing beliefs and they were doing energy work, and I bought into that for a while. And I'm not saying they're bad or wrong, but again, you walk away from that healing, you're feeling amazing, and then you go out into life, okay? And life is lifing, and your kids and your husband and your family and people on the street and whatever. And if you can't hold those beliefs, and you're not even aware, that you're even believing these things because you're in your head and you're just doing your thing, it's not going to bring you the shifts and the changes that you desire. Energy work is amazing. I use energy work every single day. But that doesn't mean that you are embodying it, you are being it, you are becoming it. So you don't even have to think about it anymore. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I think it does. Okay, let me know if it doesn't in the comments. Okay, so being radically mindful can feel overwhelming at first. It can feel kind of tiring listening to your thoughts and really like being with yourself and in your thoughts and what you're saying and what you believe all day long. It can feel tiring, okay, at first. But I promise you, it gets easier, okay? As you begin to, especially if you see a recurring thought come up, then I want you to write it down, because that's something that is deeply in your subconscious, and you're saying it and you're thinking it. And like if something, wonderful happens and you're like, yeah, right, it's going to go any minute. Like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to be able to hold this, keep this. Oh, I'm going to make money. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to get a bill. Like, you need to be aware of your thoughts so that you can catch deep-seated, unconscious, subconscious patterns. Now, this is only if you want to grow and shift. This is only if you want to change for the better and what you're doing is not working. If what you're doing is working, keep on keeping on. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. Share with me what it is, okay? Share with the class. But if you go to healer after healer, or, you yourself are not seeing that shift or change, I'm going to invite you to become really radically mindful of your thoughts. Set a timer. If it feels like so overwhelming to be really like radically mindful all day long, set a timer for 2 hours. Set a timer for an hour. Set a timer for 30 minutes. And just see what comes up. Just see what comes up. And set the timer and then just go about your day. And then the timer goes off and you're like, oh. And then you can maybe reflect if you weren't present with yourself. Okay? This is a practice that might stretch you. I still do this practice because I'm human. You're human. We're souls and bodies having a human experience. So it's not about perfection. It's not about finding stuff to beat yourself up about. Okay? You're not allowed to do that. I'm not going to let you do that. Okay? But it is giving yourself permission to really take stock of okay, so I keep saying this to myself. I keep thinking this. I keep feeling this. Cool. Okay. And then you go deeper. And then you start digging in. What do I need to understand about this belief? Where did this belief come from? What do I need to understand in order to heal it? What do I want to feel? What do I want to replace this belief with? And then you have to replace the belief. Every time it comes up, you have to say, whoa, Nelly, okay? I did martial arts for a long time. I'm a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. I used to do knife hand blocks. Anytime something came up and I was like, delete. A lot of people say cancel, clear, delete. Whatever it is, you want to disrupt that pattern. It could be like snapping your fingers, anything that's going to disrupt that pattern, and then install the new one. I trust myself. I used to not trust myself. I trust myself now. I trust myself 100%. I am confident. I can do anything. I got this. That's the kind of thing. That's where affirmations can be helpful. But you got to catch yourself when you're not being the nicest to yourself, when those beliefs are coming in. And they will, because again, you're human. We all, and some of us might struggle with this more than others, okay? No shame, no blame. You meet yourself where you're at today, okay? Meet yourself where you're at today. You're doing amazing, and I believe you got this. So, I would love for you to practice radical mindfulness and let me know how it works for you. Give yourself grace. This is not, especially if you've not really been paying attention to your thoughts. This ease in, or just be like, go for it. It depends on you. It depends on how much you want to shift the beliefs, your experience in your life. And when if you really want to, if you're like, I'm done with all of this playing small bull crap shit, bleh, I'm in. Let's do this. Okay, then you're going to want to go full in and just be so mindful of all the BS you're telling yourself, all the stuff you're buying into. And then catch yourself when you're doing it, delete it, right? New belief, and then keep on with your day. So it's not about like having to stop and do all this digging in unless it is a very deep pattern that keeps coming up over and over and over again. Then you're gonna want to stop what you're doing and dig in, preferably in the moment, because I know how it goes and you can get busy and never get to it and then wonder why your life's not changing. Ask me how I know. Because we can ignore things for a really long time until we just can't ignore it anymore, especially as healers and psychics and energy works. We are being called to expand. We are being called to raise our vibration, to expand, to hold more light, to hold more energy on this planet at this time. And if you aren't doing your inner healing work as it comes up, okay? This isn't to get stuck in healing. Maybe that's another podcast. I've seen people get stuck in the healing process and it really does slow them down and it actually keeps them. It can become an excuse not to like move forward. My thought on healing is you find something, you dig in, right then if you're able to, and then you move on. Like for me, healing is about moving forward. Stop, heal, move forward. Stop, heal, move forward. Okay, it's not about like, I can't do anything because I'm stuck in healing. Okay, I guess that would have been the podcast. Don't get stuck in healing. Do it, release it, go. Okay, that's what we're being called to do right now, is to just release the BS that we've been holding on to, that we've been telling ourselves, why we're not doing the thing, why we're not having the experience, the money that we want, our business isn't growing, all of that stuff, okay? I am working on this right now as well. So that is all I have for you. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear how you use this and what the experience was, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.